Hi folks, Robert here from Brandywine Trees. Today we're going to talk about air root pruning. What is it, how does it work, and how does it benefit a tree's root system? Every spring we get in thousands of tree seedlings like this. They're roughly 16 to 18 inches tall, and we plant them in these special pots, and we also use a custom growing mix which we have trucked in. The pots themselves, you can see all of the holes in the sides and the bottom, plus it has vertical ridges to prevent circling or girdling roots, which you don't want. What happens is the root tip goes through that opening, hits air, the root tip dries up and forces lateral or secondary roots to develop. So you end up with a very, very dense root ball. In 6 months, this tree was planted back in April, mid to end of April. And here it is November, so November 2016, we're 6 months later, and I'll demonstrate to you the many hundreds, if not thousands, of precious white feeder roots. So you can see that this is chock full of roots. There's no circling of roots, there's no girdling roots, and the dirt is not even falling away because it's full of roots, healthy white roots. So obviously the pot is too small for this tree at this point. So what do? We upstage it to a bigger tree bag. Now this tree bag performs the same root pruning that this pot does. The tip of the root hits the material on the inside, stops growing, and forces the lateral roots to develop. So you're getting more and more roots as the tree develops. In 2 years, this tree bag would be chock full of roots just like this pot is. At that point, we will either sell it to a nursery professional for him or her to use in their customer's project, or we upstage it to a 15-gallon or a 20-gallon root bag. Now, let's talk about the traditional nursery. The traditional nursery, they will take these same seedlings and they don't pot them, they plant them in the ground. 4, 5, 6 years later, these trees will need to be harvested. What they do is they bring in a tree spade to dig that tree out. But what happens is that 85 to 90% of the roots are out there, so they leave those roots behind. So in that root ball, you're only getting 10 to 15% of the tree's root system. Now, the benefits of air root pruning. Number one, you're receiving 100% of the roots plus far more roots. Number two, the trees experience little to no transplant shock, which is very important. Number three, the roots are already growing into their new environment in 4 to 5 weeks. So number four, you're giving the tree a competitive advantage to survive and thrive. We're doing all the hard work for you. We're preparing these trees for you so that you just have to plant them in your customer's project and they will survive and do well. So at Brandywine Trees, we say great roots produce better trees. So thank you for watching, and don't forget to visit us at brandywinetrees.com.